Hey, I just wanted to talk to you today and be very real. I'm a professional organizer. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and for me, organizing is relatively easy. Why? Well, because I don't actually ever let things get too out of control. I stay on top of them, and that just makes it easier. But the reason I have a job, the reason I have people that need help and I love to help is because that's not how everybody does it. And that's okay. You're not a bad person if you're behind. However, if you're watching this, it's telling me that you're not real happy with where you're at, and that's the part that I want to help you with. Let's do something about that. So, what are the things that hold people back from getting decluttered, getting organized? And let's be honest, you don't get organized without getting decluttered first. Okay, so the things that hold people back, maybe the top 2 or 3 are what I'll share, and then I want to give you a solution. It's not the only solution, but it's a really good solution. So, what holds people back? They don't know where to start. One of the things that I teach people is, in some ways, it doesn't matter where you start. It's more important to start. So what are some places that you could start? Well, you could start with a place that causes you the most pain. You're going to have a lot of pleasure in dealing with that, maybe not at first, but as you go along. So maybe that's the bedroom. It's just you hate stepping over clothes, you hate going into a closet that makes you feel claustrophobic. Start there. Maybe it's the kitchen because it's the first place that you really land when you get in your house. Start there. Now, I'll be honest, kitchens can be really challenging because whatever you think you have in that kitchen, it's probably about 3 times as much. But that's a legitimate strategy. One of the strategies can be start where you enter your home. It sets a tone. And by clearing out that entryway, that mud room, you just feel better walking in, and then you just kind of grow and grow from there. One of the things that you can do is you can pick a place that isn't that hard. That might be a guest room. It might be a powder room. But because you can do it and you can do it fairly easily, it just lets you feel that encouragement, that success, and you're ready to tackle something else. I do encourage you that, I'm going to give an exception to this, when you start someplace, stick with that place. Don't keep jumping around. Now, this isn't for everybody, but if you're neurodivergent, I might change that advice. I do work with people individually, so I would know if this works for them. But you might consider actually working in 2 places and jumping back and forth. Why? Because part of neurodivergency tends to be that need to be creative. There can also be an inclination to hyper-focus. And so going back and forth between 2 places keeps it a little more creative, helps you maybe not hyper-focus. So there's some good ways to do that. Working with a professional organizer, I can help you. So, number 1 thing that holds people back is I don't know where to start. Number 2, not surprisingly, I don't know what to do when I do start. How do I know what to keep? How do I know how much to keep? How do I know what to do with this stuff when, what I'm going to do with it when I decide I'm going to discard it? You know what? Here's a partial solution to that. The partial solution is don't work in big blocks of time. Think about it. If you don't know what to do with this stuff and you've got 6 hours and goodness gracious, you are going to do 6 hours worth of decluttering, you're going to be pretty overwhelmed within that first hour because you don't know what to do in the first hour. How are you going to know what to do in hour 4, 5, and 6? But you know what? You can do 30 minutes because when you do 30 minutes of decluttering, you're really only going to declutter for 20 or 25 minutes and use the remaining time to take care of the stuff. So what do I mean take care of the stuff? Well, the first thing you do when you decide to declutter and organize a room is what is the purpose of that room? What are we going to do in here? Anything that doesn't fit that purpose, it goes out. Now, maybe not to the trash can, but it is going to go back to a room that it does belong in. Let's say you decide the bedroom and it's for sleeping, restful times, and that's it. Well, then you don't have all your dishes in there. So in that last 5 or 10 minutes of decluttering, you take any dishes that are in the bedroom down to the kitchen. That's where they belong. You are going to have some recycling and trash most likely, and you're going to have some things to put in a donation bin. When you start taking care of what you do know what to do with, well, I know that belongs in the kitchen. I know that I'm going to throw that away. The things that are left just become a little bit more clear what to do with them. And the third thing that I'm going to just touch on real quickly because I want to give you a solution. The third thing that holds people back is starting but just not being able to sustain that momentum. It gets boring, it gets hard, you have other time pressures. it's very easy just to stop, and then you kind of tend to keep restarting, and that's discouraging. Okay, so now we know the challenges. What's the solution? Like I said, it is not, there's no such thing as the solution, but here's a solution, and it works for a lot of people. I am just putting out a new offering. I call it UnjumbledNOW. The name of my business is Unjumbled because that's what I help people do, get unjumbled. But UnjumbledNOW has an emphasis on now because we're going to start together and we're going to do it now. What we do is I have a number of small groups that meet for 4 weeks, 30 minutes each week, so not a big time commitment, something that teaches you to do little bits but do it consistently and succeed. You're going to do it in a small group with up to 4 other people besides yourself and me. And so what we're doing is we're really pulling together this power of accountability to each other, community of being in it together, encouraging each other together, having some fun together, and then I already said it because it's part of community, but encouragement. People that when you lose track of where you're going and how far you've come, those people can remind you, like, I remember what it looked like. You're doing it. You're there. Hang in. So UnjumbledNOW. This is something low cost point. It's not hard for anybody to do it, and it will work. It will kickstart that clutter-free life for you. One of the reasons I'm talking about it in this video, if you're watching it near the time I'm making it, is because it's an introductory offering, I'm doing some introductory pricing. There's going to be some early bird specials, so you want to go ahead and click on the link in the captions and read more about it. You want to do it now because you're going to be able to get the spot, the time of the day that you want. Starts April 2024. The special pricing is now. You're going to get your slot. You're going to get special pricing. You're going to kickstart your clutter-free life. I mean, why wouldn't you?